You know the vibes. Welcome to episode 7 of A Better Best Podcast. It's your boy, Charles Beloved. And as always, I am here with, you have a beautiful smile today.
Oh, thank you.
And you also have some
all right.
beautiful friends visiting
I'm
the
Shireen.
studio. Y'all might want to watch the YouTube today. You really look great today. I don't even have anything.
So, fun fact, I wore this dress my entire pregnancy.
Yeah, it feel a little different.
And this is Charles's first time seeing me in it with not a ginormous belly poking out, waddling around.
You look
Thank
great.
you.
How you doing today, dear?
I am good. I love that we unintentionally matched. This wasn't planned.
All right.
I will say you copied me because I had my outfit picked out.
I didn't look.
I had my outfit picked out first, but
for you.
I'll let it go. No, life is good. I can't believe we're at 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the podcasters. Y'all really make
this work. We gotta shout out the podcasters.
Y'all make this look so easy, and it's absolutely not. We have a new respect for.
Yeah, this is a lot of work, a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Be able to put this together. I want to shout out our team, BK, flying in to make sure she hit with us. What up, girl? Orlando, this beautiful, beautiful space.
Yes. David, who has been with us from before the podcast even started, helping us.
Podcasts are hard.
They are, and podcasters make it look easy, and it's not. So I'm thankful that we have a great team and so many people supporting us. But yeah, I wanted to hop back into our conversation that we had.
So we're not even, hold on, we're not even just going.
No small talk.
We're not small talk. You want to talk about the weather? LA's back warm again.
No small.
You want to get right back into the money. Okay. All right. So where, let me just catch people up just in case they unfortunately weren't able to listen to episode.
No. You have to go back, and I'm going to tell you, go back and listen to episode 6.
Okay, it's a mandatory pre-read.
It's
a pre-read because right now I'm mad. Let's start the podcast with me being upset that Shireen had $30,000 saved upon my one knee drop of engagement, and I gave every single dollar I could to purchase the ring. I had $0 left to my name after purchasing your ring. You would not even buy me dinner. You would get upset.
Oh, no.
You would get upset about buying me $7 dinner.
Y'all see how people collide when you see how when someone else tell the story, it changed?
It's telephone. We do a telephone. I'm just giving my perspective. Wouldn't buy me $7 Zaxby's, and then she was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know how we're gonna pay for this wedding. We might need to get married 3 years from now to be able to accommodate the other people." She said, "Oh no, I have $30,000 to help us," and I said, "Oh wow, give me my ring."
So I think all of our childhood experiences manifest themselves in different ways. Absolutely. And I think this is one of those things where, like, while I cared about you and I wanted to build a life with you, Bridget, she coined this, and I want her to get famous off of this. And she said on her podcast, if you don't listen to Bridget's podcast, please go listen. See, the thing is, she said that we all have poverty PTSD. And I think my poverty PTSD is I never want to be without money. I never want to feel poor again. I never want to have to look and say I can't buy something or I'm struggling to pay my bills, because I lived that life for so long. I watched my mom struggle, and I was like, I'm going to hustle and I'm going to get it out the mud. And it was like, once I got out, I was like, I ain't never going back. So for me, it was like scary to, not that I didn't trust you, but it was like scary to hand over control over something I had so much control over for so many years. Nobody's telling me how I spent my money. I bought what I wanted to buy. I saved when I wanted to save. And you were so different that I was like, I'm scared to give this control to him to share.
Wow, we getting deep.
But it was true. It was like, even now that like we're doing okay, you see me, I'll look at something online, I'll mull over it, I'll go back to it, I'll show it to you, I'll ask you your opinion. Should I get it? Shouldn't I get it? Can I get it somewhere cheaper? I do all this research,
all the due diligence
before I'll pull the trigger and buy something, especially if it's an expensive item. Whereas Charles is like, I just ordered this.
It's done.
It's on the way.
It's It's coming to the house.
I don't see
you. I'm showing you so that you can be excited upon the box getting delivered.
So I think our poverty PTSD manifested itself in very different ways. Like, we could both be savers, but we're
in different ways.
We're definitely different. So I won't say that you're the only spender. I'm a spender too. I like to buy nice things, but I gotta mentally get over the hurdle. Yeah. And one of my things that I will still am not over, and Charles gets mad at me, I don't put bills on autopay. I don't make enough money. I'm not there yet.
I'm gonna have to manually on the 15th to go pick.
Yep.
Go to each website.
I have a spreadsheet and I check my spreadsheet.
I'm all autopay. I can't. Like, I don't have the time. I'm running businesses. I don't have the time to be thinking about this.
Every time they be like, I signed up for autopay, I'm like, y'all not about to trick me.
That's interesting.
Y'all not about to trick me into that. No.
To me, like, that's big for me, and I'm not trying to take over your story, but that's big for me because there was a time when, for different reasons, that's just your poverty PTSD. You obviously got like, I couldn't do that because my account would go negative if they took it out on the 13th or they took it out on the 3rd or 4th. I would be like, oh my God, I would have been on some trip and my account be negative $700 from something. So I was unable to. So for me, I put it on auto pay because now I'm like, it makes me no difference. You know what I mean? And so that was like a big, when you mentioned, I was like, that's a big blessing to show this shift. Because you dogged me last episode. Please, in the comments, if y'all want to comment about how she treated me, I welcome y'all saying to her on our pre-marriage talk about Charles.
I did not dog you, but I think that we came into the marriage with different things, right? Like, I think you had more cash income because of the way your job was set up. You were in sales, you were getting commissions. Yeah. So you would get big bonus checks. But on the week to week, I made more money. Yeah. So even managing through that was hard because, like, you get big checks and you're like, well, let's buy something. And I'm like, let's save some money.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in your head, you're like, I have to scrimp and save every week until I get my big check. And my big check is here, so I'm about to blow a little bag. And
that is how my poverty PTSD has manifested, I guess, my entire adult life is, I told the prom story about, like, having to be in some thought process, be told no. I said, I never want to have to be told no ever again. So I don't ask anyone.
We talked about this with our therapist because
I don't ask. I just do. And Shireen says she's unable to ever surprise me with things that I like because anything that I like, I'm just going to get for myself. And I work hard. I take care of my family. I buy my house. I pay my bill. I will buy what I want to buy. And that's just it.
Y'all, what do you buy for the man that has every
that's just it.
thing?
There's plenty more that's on my bulletin board. AP is next. I got the Rolex.
God.
I got the Rolex. Here we go, AP. Listen.
I don't have that same 30,000, not even more than 30 in the bank just sitting.
Listen. But I'll just say there's things you could buy.
So I think we came into marriage with completely different approaches to how we were paying our bills, how we were managing things. But I do think for the big things, we got aligned.
Well, that is true.
So for the wedding, even for the wedding, we had a lot of arguments because Charles didn't know this. So I was saving for something for him. And
absolutely.
I was making okay money, but not a ton of money. I was trying to help pay for our wedding. My best friend was also getting married, so I was I had all her wedding stuff that I had to pay for. And then on top of that, Charles had been talking about this watch that he wanted. He had been like, we had pictures of the watch. We would go to the watch store. He would go.
What's that called? Window shopping?
Yeah, he would go window shop. He would try it on. Yeah, man. He was just.
It was a Breitling watch.
Yeah, he just wanted this watch. And after the engagement, I was just like, I'm going to buy that man his watch. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to buy that watch for him. And I really wanted to give it to him on our wedding day. I was like, that will make the watch so much more special.
Oh, absolutely.
If I can give it to him on our wedding day. So I am taking my little paychecks, scrimping, saving, everyone in our life.
It's called skimming off top, y'all. So fellas, as we talk about the approach to marriage and finance, we get a little bit more in depth of our methodology. She was skimming money off top. So pay attention, Kings.
We had just started R&B HouseParty, and I used to manage a door. So I would take a little.
Wow! You were still in the door, money?
I would.
Oh my! Preach it space right now.
I would. A little. And what? I'm not Bernie Madoff. It was like $50. It was like a little.
I knew you ain't said Bernie, man. Wow. Okay.
And then we had, because like.
Hold on. I just want to be clear. I want to be clear to our listeners. You're minimizing thievery. It wasn't a lot. I only stole 50.
I stole to give it back to him. It was for you.
Oh my God.
So
you telling me how you got this money together? Is there anything incriminating that you're about to share? I love my life. Now I need my wife before you go into how you came up with the rest of these thousands of dollars.
So I was saving, and then I had like this random side account, and I had just never touched the money. And I remembered it one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have money in there. So I started to kind of save this money for your watch. Like my mom gave us a little bit of money for the wedding. I took a little off top of that.
Wow.
I was.
Oh my God.
Charles is.
This is literally insane. Like, I want you to listen to this episode so bad.
Charles, I was doing it for you. I did it for you.
Insane, bro.
I wasn't doing it to buy a watch for me.
Okay.
So I scrimped all the money I had, and I was getting so frustrated because Charles would get his big checks, and like, yes, he would allocate money to his wedding, but he'd go out with his friends and go out drinking and spend a couple $100, and I'm looking at him like, I have no money. I have $0. And I'm doing everything I can to pay for this wedding, show up for my friends, buy your stupid little watch, and I was so we had a lot of fights.
We had a lot of fights.
Because you were like, well, it's my money, so I can spend my money how I want to spend.
That's the thing. So the big thing was, and the irony is that we've now, I think you've gotten on board, and obviously we're talking completely different quantities. At first we're talking about DoorDash, I profit $500. I'm like, oh, I want to take my friends out for dinner. And she like, come on, my guy. Like, chill. But in a business that is relationship built, I like to show my appreciation. People prioritizing, flying in, or not doing other things to be able to show up to my party, which again makes it successful. Like, you know what I mean? So when I go on tour, I take my friends to dinner. That is my thing. Nobody's going to stop. Now, again, it probably was the right time when we were saving for a wedding in a house to do that. It's definitely easier for us to do now.
I think for you had money, so it was like, now I want to do.
Now I finally have money. I got through the rut. You know what I mean? I bought the ring. It's like, why? What do you have to complain about? And it's not like I'm asking you for money. It was a time when I was asking you for your money. I said, man, I'm not asking you for anything. You damn should know about to police my money.
Y'all see this tone? Y'all see this? That was the exact
I'm the sweet Charles. I'm the sweet Charles.
They used to make me.
I don't want people to see that.
Y'all see the tone? That was the tone we used to use. You see why we was arguing? Because can you imagine somebody coming at you with that tone?
I'm sorry.
Saying it's my money.
I was like, that's not me, y'all. That's not me. I don't want people to think that's really me.
That is really you. You see, he went back. He couldn't even hide it. Anyway, so I think we came in, and to finish the watch story, I was able to. And what was the first thing you said when you saw that watch?
I said, and we should put the video clip on here. I broke down crying because the watch was. I was an emotional wreck on wedding day. So that was just to be clear. Like, I had the shits. It was just bad. It was really bad. Like, it was the most nervous I have ever felt in my life. Obviously the happiest as well. But then like going onto the altar, we all doing like putting our clothes on. You're supposed to exchange gifts. My stepmom, this is my mama, but my stepmama, she was like the day before
she knew about the watch.
She knew about the whole family knew about the, and like, you're not gonna get Shireen something like it's part of the borrowed new. You supposed I say, y'all, I'm buying a house and I'm paying for a wedding. I'm not spending $1 else on Shireen Kirkendall. Like, no. And they're like, oh, you don't want to buy her another? Ooh-wee. So I'm like, fine. Like they annoy me so much. I just went to Tiffany's and bought her a necklace, which was a great necklace.
Yeah, no, I still wear it
to this day. But they made me do that because they knew she got me the
and the way I set it up was his brother knew. I had his brother call him, and his brother was like, hey, I'm gonna bring my watch so that you can have a nice watch to wear on your wedding day. And it
was a Movado.
Yeah, and I put your watch in a Movado box.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought I was gonna wear my brother's Movado.
So, but then I put the Breitling I bought you.
Put the Breitling inside the Movado box.
So on the wedding day, I wasn't there. His brother was like, hey, Shireen got you a gift. And it was a Movado box. And he was so appreciative. But I know Charles.
Yeah, you know me so
and
well.
I knew.
You know me so
I was like,
well.
y'all, if I buy him a watch that's not the Breitling, he's going to be like, that was cute, but why didn't you just save the money for the watch?
Put it towards what I actually
the watch I really want. So I was like, oh, look at him. He's putting on a good face.
I put on a real good face like, oh, thank you.
I mean, I think in the moment you were probably very appreciative.
Yeah.
But he opened that box.
And I saw the Breitling.
And flipped the whole table over.
Threw the table over. I started boohoo crying. I said, where did she get the money? And I said, oh, we getting married today. That's when I knew. So thank you again for that. That was very, very, very sweet. And now, some years later, you surprised me at the Rolex store.
Yes.
To help me buy my Rolex. So it's a clear theme here of you hiding money. So let's get into
I knew you were going to say that.
You thought I was going to say something sweet? I think it's a very clear pattern that I think we need to dissect about how we go about managing our funds as a couple. So let's talk tactically. What does it look like?
But my thing is, before we even got there, after we got married and we truly pooled our finances because we had to pay a mortgage, so it was no more my check, money, your check. Yeah. It's like it's our check,
our money
to pay these bills. It was no more your money, my money.
Yeah, it was our money to pay these bills.
To pay the bills. But then R&B HouseParty started to pick up a little bit. And now you're getting this little, random influxes of cash. And you're feeling yourself. You're feeling good about yourself.
I'm feeling the household.
And the my money mantra monster came back hard.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, we got some extra money. This is what we can do. Let's save. And Charles was like, I'm not doing that. This is my money.
I'll make the determination.
I'm going to do it.
You can save whatever percentage you want of my daytime paycheck. You can allocate that.
Y'all.
However you wish.
I'm having flashbacks.
Hold on. I'm breaking down the methodology. You have one role. You have one job. And Shireen, extremely successful. We talked about it. You were making more than me until we moved to California. So you're making your check. I am making my check.
I was making more in my daytime job, but once you started pooling in Charles's side.
Yeah, but I'm not even trying to get to that. But I'm just giving my methodology of how. So your check went to the house. My check went to the house. That means both parties are bringing one check into the household. In addition to that, of that check, you were breaking down a portion of that, skimming it off top, putting it into your own side account. I knew nothing
So were you?
I also had a percentage going.
We both have side accounts.
A side account. I just want to break it down how our accounts work. Everything else goes to the house. Whatever she wants to do out of that main house account is her. I do not care. Shireen manages our house. I don't even think I tactically pay our mortgage. I don't even know how. Okay, so Shireen manages the house business. I don't even think about it. I just know this is going to get paid and everything else is on autopay. Car note, AT&T, etc. But when we started getting this influx of cash from R&B HouseParty, something that was birthed out of my hard work, that was authored by you. It was just like, I was under the impression that I could do with my hard work whatever I wish.
So y'all see how the argument started, right? The day after the party, when we knew how much money
we actually got cold hard cash. It's not like on Cash App going straight to an account. I have cash in my hand.
Baby, them arguments used to be epic.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
used
know.
to get so bad.
I don't know why I have a specific flashback of us in Jersey being in the car driving to the supermarket, and it was like after having that fight so many times, I just remember you asked me, you were like, so then what would you have us do with the side money?
Yeah.
And how should we break it up since we keep having this argument? And I forgot what conclusion we came to, but I think it was like, you get a percentage.
Yeah, you wanted me to get a percentage of my money? I'm sorry, a percentage of, I'm sorry.
Y'all keep hearing the my money. Y'all see how that used to trigger me? The my, and it was so much emphasis on the my every time we talk. I was like, yo,
I'm not trying to say this
you're
and
breaking
that.
the trust. I'm never going to be a stay-at-home mama with you because
that's literally what you
it's
said.
giving financial abuse. It's giving, this is my money.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I did not mean my money. I meant our money. From
Freudian slip.
From my other business. That is what I meant, Shireen. You said a percentage.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we go this route, I will not have to hear your mouth at all.
At all.
So long as it's whatever, you use 25% of the money.
Like that.
Like I can do whatever I want with.
Yeah.
You will have no issue. And so I said, okay, cool. And that was kind of how we started to keep the peace.
Because we needed, after so many times of having the exact same argument again, we were like, something has to change. This is not working.
Yeah.
But I think as we kind of like moved into, so our first house, still in the finances, Charles was more cash heavy, but I had good credit. Yeah. So our first house was
in your name,
in my name,
independently.
We were married. I was like, listen, I'm not about to steal the house from you and run. It's fine. But you know, a lot of our you helped fund a lot of that. So it was like, to me, I was like, this is still an equal partnership.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're using my name, but we're using your money. That's fine. I think as we kind of matured and grew and our perspective on life became more aligned and what our bigger goals. Yeah, we were talking at this point. We were talking about little goals. It's talking about going out with our friends and drinking. Yeah. But it's like we had a child, so our I think our goals started to shift, and what we wanted to do started to shift. And we moved to the Bay. We knew we did not want to buy there.
Yeah, no. But even the amount of we talk specific. Our first house was 350K.
Something like that.
Something like that. A condo
in Newark.
In Newark, New Jersey. Brand new building, 555. If y'all been to the duplex. It wasn't a duplex, but it was a penthouse.
Like a loft.
Penthouse loft. 3-bedroom, fire. But we got to the Bay and the shock of a price tag.
Ooh.
Like, people were buying homes out there. We knew people at Facebook like $700,000, that type
Almost
of thing.
$1 million.
And I said, oh, we never going to own again in our lives.
Yeah.
That was the comment. We said, cool. We bought. We did it. We had high fives. You don't leave me hanging. We were proud of ourselves. We bought ourselves a house. We can never say we didn't. We still owned it. But also, it was unrealistic for us to
I was like, the price just made it feel unattainable.
Yeah, it was like, this is never going to happen for us.
And I was like, or we got to move far out. And I was like, in the Bay, that's just so hard to do. So I think for us, we were like, we got to the Bay and it was like, just even to save with the amount we were paying in rent.
And rent, it was not even feasible.
Yeah, so I think it got to a point where it was like there was no your money, my money. It was like, yo,
we need this party money and make sure we covered
literally every dollar is already allocated for. So I think life helped us shift a little bit. But then we moved to LA and you know, it was still expensive, but not as expensive. We were making a little bit more because you moved for a job.
I took the Airbnb job. Oh, we don't really talk about companies, but I took the role at Airbnb. Yeah. And that was when I was like, okay, Shireen, like if we lock in, we can meet these numbers that it costs to purchase a house.
So I will say, all of my poking and prodding,
talk about it now.
I created a monster because then he turned into Mr. Save. And I turned it into, I was like, well, we got it, so I can spend it. And he's like, you need to relax. What did you? So now I'm trying to hide. Not at first I was hiding the money. Now I'm hiding my stuff. I'm like, I can't show him this.
Shireen, why is their package coming to our house?
I'm like, y'all,
to our apartment.
I gotta beat the postman because I can't let him see it. Because I'm like, now you policing me.
Yeah, I
But
became obsessive.
he did, and I think it was seeing money in the account for the first time. You were like, I don't want to go back.
I ain't never going back. I ain't never going back. And so like the battery got in my back that we could actually be able to buy again. And, you know, honestly, I realized, especially I think when we sold our first property, it was like, and we sold for a profit, and I think we had a rebate or something. What was it called?
Yeah, no, we would have sold for a profit.
Yeah,
and we got like a little bit of money,
yeah,
but because it was they were trying to
abatement. Yeah. That's what it was. It was an abatement.
They were trying to build up the city of Newark, and they did not want flippers to come in.
Yeah,
so you're
supposed to hold your property.
You're supposed to hold it for a certain amount of years. We did not, because we ended up moving. Yeah.
So I want to talk about the finances of it. So then. I'm sorry, finish the story.
No, I appealed to the city, but basically they were like, whatever profit you make, you got to pay back the city.
But here's how I view real estate, and when it made me into a monster of real estate was, even though we didn't make as much because of the abatement, we had held on to it for like 3 years, just paying mortgage. That turned into like a savings mechanism. Yeah. You're just paying down your principal, paying down your interest, you sell at the price that you bought it for. There's a delta there. That's your money.
That's your money.
And then I thought about the Bay, where we paying in the threes of thousands of dollars on a month-to-month basis to live.
Almost four.
Going to somebody else. I said, oh, if we meet this price point, 700, 800, whatever, I'm at least paying myself every month to live versus paying person X. Yeah. And they getting the cash out that we got in Newark. So I was like, no. We have to buy again. Yeah. And I became a psycho about positioning us to be able to buy again.
I will say, once we're both locked in,
that's where we align.
We get to
That's where we align.
We moved to LA. We had one car. And the apartment complex we were living in, we talked about getting another car. But the apartment complex we were living in, you had to pay for the additional parking spot. So we would have been paying $300 just in parking spots. On top of
the second car note.
The second car note. And we were just like, the math ain't math.
Math ain't math.
We gonna have to. So Charles used to take the train.
LA train People don't want to talk about the sacrifices, Shireen. People don't like to talk about the sacrifices. People think it's crazy to ever think about taking the LA train.
So Charles used to take the train. I used to take the car because of where I worked. I would pick up and drop off CJ because I was the one who had the car. And then his office moved, and he could no longer take the train. So we swapped.
Yeah, so
I started to take the LA
bus.
That's
crazy. Oh, yeah, you did take the bus. Is wild. The bus is
every
unsafe.
Day.
That sounds wild.
But, yo, I'm from New York. I'm like, that's just not scary. I'm going to get on the bus. And I got on the bus every day. I would listen to my podcast. I would read a book. I would call a friend in New York. They would talk to me. And I took that bus. And after I got off the bus, it was like a 15-minute walk to my office. Yeah. And my coworkers would be like, I saw you walking. Where were you walking from? And I was like, I took the bus. And they're like, you took the bus?
In LA?
In LA? And I remember they asked
goals, baby girl.
They were like, what is the bus like? And I'm like, it's full of normal people going to
commuting to work
for their prospective destinations. I'm not sure what you want me to say. But my thing is, we had a goal in mind, and we were like, yo,
we're going to sacrifice
a car each month is going to it will be more convenient, but financially it's going to set us back, and we're not going to do it. We're already paying enough in
rent down here.
In rent. So it was like the numbers aren't making sense. Yeah. And we literally, I would just Uber every now and then if the bus was taking too long, or sometimes Charles would be like, hey, I can come get you, but it's going to be 45 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll go to Target and just walk around for 45 minutes and wait for you to come get me. But we hustled to make it work. And I don't know if we ever talked about it, but before we got married, we lived with a roommate.
Yeah.
So
I think we mentioned that.
Yeah, but on our wedding day, we got married and came back to our 2-bedroom apartment where someone else lived in the second bedroom.
Somebody else lived in there with us but nobody talks about the sacrifice.
But I think for us, like, sacrificing is real, and it's like Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah. You're gonna have to give something up to get what you want. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I call it us being first generation got it together. And I'm so glad that I met you, because I could not have lived my life long term the way that I lived it and approached, money. Because as we get older and, things continue to grow, prices continue to grow. It's like the methodology had to shift. Yeah. And also there was no fallback plan. like, because I had to go through a stint where I had nothing. Luckily, my brother as well, like my little fallback plans. I was like, what if something y'all don't have? Like, we only can rely on ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we had to like really build that muscle to be able to position ourselves financially to take care of ourselves long term.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add kids into the mix, and it's like now you got somebody else responsible for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about me, my wants. I want this, like that. That just goes out the window to be able to provide the best possible life and set your children up for success. Then it's like, okay, and I go from that house. So we got that house.
Well,
and we threw a crazy housewarming.
But even that house, when Charles was obsessive about looking at houses,
I
like,
was
obsessive.
I go crazy.
It was like he was sending me. I'm
crazy.
like, Charles, we're not buying this house. Why are you sending this to me? But that house was in your name.
That's right. Oh, good. Talk about it.
You shifted.
Talk about it. I mean, good credit. What else I talk about?
You had the credit.
Talk about it now. Solely, and the money, and the income.
You did.
Come on, somebody.
You had,
and I didn't put party money. I had to keep the party money off the record.
It was your daytime salary and your credit, and you bought that second house all by yourself.
Thank you, Shireen. I really appreciate that.
I was so proud of you. I was so happy for you in that moment because I knew you felt so good that our first house, you couldn't be on it.
Yeah, and you also never actually put my name on the first house.
Well,
you was like, it was like something. The people were like, let me tell you about this snake. Let me tell you about this snake. No. Let me tell my story. Let me tell my story.
Y'all see how the story changed? Do y'all see how when somebody else tell the story changed?
They were like, I forgot the name of the title. People was like, oh, it's just a formality. Like, after y'all get married or whatever, she could just add your name back. Bridget, I want to be clear. At no point did she ever add my name. So if they had divorced or anything, look at her like, no face. If anything were to happen to us, she was going to take the house.
Let me know when you're done.
I just want to be clear about how you operate.
Y'all, we got married. We moved into that house. Charles knocked me up. What was I thinking about some house? I was knocked up just trying to make it to work every day, commuting from Jersey to New York.
Oh, man.
And we lived in the house for 1 year. And then we moved to the Bay Area. You see how people leave out the pertinent details?
You just never added my name. You just never added my name to the title. As you gave me my flowers, I just wanted to share that. And so we got the second house through a crazy big housewarming. We thought that was it for us. We were like, this is clearly the most money we could ever spend on a freaking house. Like, it was just like unreasonable to think you have to go into the millions in LA to be able to buy again at that point.
No. And I think people hear that and they're like, oh, y'all keeping up with no. To get a decent house in LA, your budget. We did research before we bought the house that we live in now. We went and saw houses.
Every weekend, that was what we did.
We looked at gut rentals. We were like, okay, so what if we buy something in the 700s? But then you get there, you gonna have to put you gonna have to do this to the bones, to the studs. At that point, you're gonna spend $500,000 trying to get it together where you want it to be.
Right.
It was just, there was so much back and forth. LA's housing market is nuts.
Yeah. But I don't want to make it about houses, but I did want to say, like, we were. Because that muscle was built, we went to remote work and we were like, we can, like, get a bigger house for our family and things. We talked about this slightly on a previous episode, but then we bought this house, which I love, which we're now interior design, and it's just so much fun building pools and stuff.
But I'll give you your flowers again with this second. Our house that we initially bought in LA, I was like, it works. I like it. We have enough space. Yeah. We can have guests. And Charles was like, no, this is not it.
This is not it. This is not my forever house.
We were talking about having a second child, and he was like, I'm not having a second child in this house.
Not in this. It's too small.
He was like,
not in this kitchen.
I'm not doing it in this house. So he was just adamant. And at that point, he was trying to switch. It was just a lot going on. And I was like, Charles, I feel like the universe is telling us just stay in this house. He's like, no. I'm going to.
The universe is telling me that we got to get the bigger house if we're going to expand our family.
And I will say I was not say I wasn't a believer, but I was just like, okay, well,
these numbers are different.
I was like, sir,
this down payment is different.
I don't know how this math is gonna math. I don't know how 1 + 1 is gonna equal $1 million and something, but I will say you hustled, and I will never forget that we went and saw this particular construction. and we had gone to see like the cheaper houses, and you were gung-ho.
I was gung-ho on the cheaper houses.
You were like, let's move here. And but they were like literally
slightly bigger. We had
our same,
what was our 1,600 square feet, and then these were like 18 to 2,100 square feet.
But like same amount of bedrooms.
Yeah,
and I was
just beautiful.
I was like, but Charles, this is literally we're moving. We're moving from a lateral move. This doesn't make sense. If you're saying
work term,
lateral
move. Okay,
I was like, if you're saying we need more space to have a child, this is not giving us more space. Just in a year from now, you're going to be over this house. Yeah. And I was like, no, hard. I'm putting my foot down. Hard no.
She hard knowed me.
I was like, I'm not leaving our current house to move here. Yeah. And we went and saw the bigger houses and the
stretch houses.
It had a bigger price tag too. And we were walking around. They give you the little paper that has all the specs and the price on it. And I remember I circled the house that we liked, like the model that we liked. Yeah. And I wrote next to it, if we win the lottery.
If we win the lottery.
And I'm about to cry. We did not win the lottery.
If we win. Why are you trying to do this to me?
We didn't win the lottery, but we still got the house. So I'm just so thankful about like the sacrifices you've made over the years to put our family in the position that you wanted for us. Like sometimes I don't always see your vision, but I've learned over the years to trust you.
You gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax.
And trust the vision that you have for our family. And sometimes it's hard because I'm like, Lord, I really don't see the vision. I don't know how he's about to do this. But you always do it. And I know I said at our housewarming, like everyone congratulated us. They were like, the house is beautiful. Congratulations. And I'm like, yo, we're in this house because God put us here. We had very little to do with it. Absolutely. So, you know, I just want to thank you. You have over the years always had a bigger vision than me. I think you dream wide and I dream a little, I don't want to say narrow, but I am like more tactical and you're a dreamer. And I think sometimes how tactical I can be can get in the way because I'm like, well, what's the how, Charles? How are we going to get there? Yeah. And I think that because of that, we're a perfect match, right? Because like I get super tactical and I make you think about like, what is the how? Yeah. But you also make me dream big. And
that's why
I love that about you.
Yeah, and that's why thank you for that. I want to hard stop that. I needed that because you sometimes we started the episode on the path to divorce. You fucking brought it back home. Preaching, I hear you. But like it's faith without works is dead. Yeah. And, you know, I was relying heavily on faith in my days.
Some days
I relied a little too heavily. God is gonna provide. Let me go ahead and book this trip to Miami with $300 in my account. But you made me lock in on the works. Faith without works is dead. And so I focus on the work, and I have a big vision, but the tactical pieces and ways in which we're gonna have to go to that. You really helped me focus on that. Again, there's no R&B HouseParty without you picking up on that and saying that that's something that you need to start. And so the close is like being where we're at right now, and I have, in my opinion, everything that I've ever wanted out of this life, right? Like, I have the house, I have the clothes, I had a shoe, I had every shoe I fucking ever dreamt of having, right? So it's like now my focus is on generational wealth and making sure CJ and Carter have a whole different upbringing than we were capable to. And when we leave this earth, whenever that day were to happen, that they're set up for success, where they don't have to feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's all on them or nothing. They first generation got it together. They can be second generation got it together, because all of our efforts are purposeless if we not making sure that they're set. Yep. So.
But Lord knows, CJ gonna run up a bag at Target. That's his favorite.
No, we gonna have to work on CJ and buying toys at Target.
Cause that boy, mommy.
Oh man, money episode 7 for Better Best Podcast.
We out, y'all. Save some money.